Oh, hey, here we are. Week 13 recap show. Welcome to the SoonerNation Fantasy Football League. Jason, esteemed guest Chris. Yeah. This is fun. This is a post-league lunch. We got to see Jeff and Chad. That was a really good time. A lot of stuff to cover, not a lot of time.
Speaking of Chad, did you guys see?
Hey, let's just keep going.
Yeah, quiet down. We love this league. Best ball's been a great addition, but what if we strive for more? Like, what if we made a stake for the future generations? Like, what if we had an offspring league? What if everybody contributed one child to make their own league? And then that's probably a dumb idea because, like, are Jay's kids even old enough? I don't know. He would probably cheat for them. I'm sure Melanie's got plenty of time to just field trade requests from Mendenhall's kid while she's in college.
McCall's right now. We'll sign up right now.
Well, I figured Peyton and McCall are like,
yeah. 100%. Well, I actually have been thinking about this. We don't have time for this, but I've been thinking. I have in my will who I will cede my team to.
Wow.
And so I do not want me to die and to have somebody that I don't know take over my team. So I have telected a person. It's in my actual will who will take over the SoonerNation Karate Kid team because I don't want it to fall into the wrong hands. I don't want somebody who's had a bad year this year, say like Ashton Circle, be like, well, Smitty's out, it's a terrible train accident. So now I guess I should take over his team and we should give some schmuck, the new guy, bring back somebody and give them Ashton Circle team. I do not want that to happen. So I have in my will.
Do you want to tell us who this is, or is it a secret?
Well, I don't want them to. They do know about it, but I don't. I see. I don't want them to get their hopes up.
Sure. Or maybe you suddenly have an accident. We know who to point the finger at.
Yeah, that actually.
It's the coveted
number one.
Very coveted spot.
Number one would be the person who might take over my team for sure. So. I like the idea though. I like what you're thinking about.
Speaking of Katie, I was thinking how we love the Bill Simmons. I'm keeping this real short.
Okay.
We like Parent Corner on the Bill Simmons podcast.
Sure.
The other day I was watching with Sarah and my wife, and she said, "Did they just say his name's Kyle Shithead?" And I was like, "No, it's Shanahan." But some people think that. But I thought maybe we spouse corner.
Spouse corner.
I don't know. We need better material.
Yeah. No. This is just enough. And then of course you got people wanting to join the pod.
Yeah.
So
well, let's get rolling.
Okay, let's do it. Let's just share that screen. Go to this week's games. Obviously.
I like the behind the scenes. I don't get to see this usually.
Pretty exciting.
Look at that
moment for us to be able to play from start.
Let's go. Real exciting for you know who.
Yeah.
Now here we go. Oh, maybe not so exciting. Jeff defeats Chris 117-86. Man, that stings. You lose a game after getting this massive Dak game on Thursday night, which, I mean, by the way, Chris was quick to point out that I said Dallas was playing on a short week, but it was not a short week because of the Thanksgiving game.
Yes, so you're welcome.
Love being corrected. Thursday, Seahawks. That game was cooking for the 4,200 division. Like all four teams were just putting up. There we go, nice and clean, putting up big scores. Prescott and Cooks for Lauhon. CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. I had 55 out of Geno. It was awesome.
Yeah. Charbonnet had 16. DK Metcalf with 31.
Yeah. DK Metcalf surpassing the highest mile per hour for the season. So there's all those fast Dolphins, and he was like, "See ya."
I didn't see that.
Yeah. He's number one now.
Wow.
So big time. I don't know. I never really liked Pittman's game, but he's been balling. Gardner Minshew is the best thing that ever happened to Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
Sadly, I traded him.
It's really shocking to see the 0 for Cleveland there.
Yes, complete shocking.
Yeah, I guess Denzel Ward's out and Myles Garrett's banged up, but still, that you don't think that's going to happen. But boy, Laporta, for Jeff, that's awesome. 2 seasons now, the Lions have been my favorite offense to watch. Yeah, that's a better angle.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good angle right there. I want to make sure the audio works.
Yeah,
for sure on this. But yeah. Chris at lunch mentioned how he thought after the Thursday game that he was going to lose after getting 52-12.
Isn't that remarkable?
It's remarkable.
What a score.
But but the too many zeros there for Chris. But
tight
Chris,
once again,
we need to get to the playoff scenarios because this guy who's joining the pod, he's going to have experienced playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, he's
experienced the playoffs this year.
He's locked in.
It's shocking.
Okay.
But you have to admit, DK and Brandon Aubrey with 15 on the kicker. I mean,
yeah.
But only 26 for Patrick Mahomes,
know,
which
but
you think you're going to get a 26.
well,
you're going to beat Jeff.
According to the RT algorithm, I was toast.
Yeah.
Well, if there was a way that a commissioner could get rid of the RT algorithm, I would 100% right now vote against the algorithm. I hate it with everything that's within me.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's a good score. 97 is not bad.
No.
You know, 55 out of my backup. I like to see Chase doing that, but with Taylor out again, a couple guys on bye, like I was relying on guys you shouldn't rely on. Do you know Dalton Kincaid's a year older than Kyle Pitts? That's weird, right?
That is weird.
Yeah. Pitts wasn't even old enough to buy beer to celebrate when he got drafted. Here's the deal. Weiss is just pick rich.
Late bloomer.
He's a late bloomer. Yeah, let's hope.
Maybe next year will be the year for Kyle Pitts. It hasn't worked so far, but it may be next year.
Yeah, it was playing musical hands with all the owners.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about Josh, where he had all these picks and he's cashed them in, and now he's got to be just a prohibitive favorite. Like ever since the catastrophic series of trades I made with him back in Herbert's rookie year, I gave him so many assets, and he has managed those and massaged them and invested them, and now he's just got this juggernaut. And the only way it's going to be stopped is if he gets cute and starts the wrong lineup. 23 title is his to lose. And I bet he just spooged a little hearing me say that. And I do not like that. I don't want to be responsible for Josh as a jack. Good.
Looking at this team. Well, first off, we did talk at lunch about just the year from hell that you've had. I mean, starting off with Joe Burrow's injury, Aaron Rodgers going down for Breece Hall, obviously. And I wonder what's so important on Chris's phone that he can't even pay attention to a podcast. Well, we're live. This may be a look in here.
It's kind of sad. That's how everybody watches the show.
I do think that what the Ghosts have done, I was thinking about the Ghosts this week. The Ghosts have done what the Thunder did not do. When they had a window, right? Yeah. And they tried to lengthen the window out, right? By saying I'm gonna keep all these draft picks and I'm gonna have this 10-year window. But then by what he's done to cash them in, to add Tyreek Hill, to add David Montgomery, and to say, okay, this is the year that I'm going to the title. He's done what I think you should do, which is push those chips in and go for something now, rather than say, I want to be a playoff team for the next 10 years. He's saying, no, I want to win now. So again, he is a prohibitive favorite, which means everyone's rooting against him, which is the spot you want to be in, because as I said for years, nobody hates a loser, right? And so when he's in the spot, which also means everyone's rooting against him, which means a downfall would be so sweet for the rest of us.
Yeah,
so
we're all looking for it.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Speaking of a downfall, Chad defeats Jay 130-123. Chad will not go quietly into the night. He will not lie down, despite what recent trades would have you believe. No, he's standing up and saying, I belong in the playoffs. You reckon with me. Deals Jay only a second black eye of the season. It's meaningless for Coach Bond, but a huge momentum change for Chad. He'd lost 5 in a row heading into this, and he knocks off the 11-1 team.
He took off a whole day of school, I believe, a whole day of school just to come to lunch to bask in his victory.
If you're Jay, you got a big problem, though. The loss means nothing, but the loss of Tank Dell, tectonic shift. For the last month, he's been terrorizing opponents. Tank Dell got a 0 this week. He's going to get a 0 every week the rest of the season. Christian Watson seemingly had arrived. Now he's out. Probably it's a hamstring again. I don't know if you can rely on him. I don't love the wide receivers on Jay's bench. He's got Deontay. He's got the guy
Johnson.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh, and now Trubisky. You gonna trust that?
No.
Jay doesn't have any receivers I trust at this point. So it's I don't know what he's gonna do.
Every receiver on the waiver wire this last week that I looked at for what I chose, the Watson receiver out of Kansas City. The other options I had was like Tutu Atwell under 1 point. The two new receivers from New Orleans under 1 point. Right. I mean, it's like
it's a wasteland.
It's really hard out there. And so I also, I mean, not as catastrophic for me, but Jay, the Tank Dell injury. What a rookie season. He's been magic. He's been so magic. 165 pounds, 5'8". Like you just think like, just let's take care of that kid forever. And I'm super, super sad.
You're looking at a first round exit.
Oh, I'm not saying that out loud. Because
I want to see the matchups.
I'm
not sure because he's going to get matched up against one of the 5-win teams. So he might be okay.
Yes.
We have a prediction from the commish. I'm not willing to say it, but I do. We have until Thursday, commish, until the trade deadline. Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday at like, I don't know, anytime.
Traditionally it was noon, but you're the boss now.
I may have wrote 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Central time.
Okay,
Yeah.
5 o'clock Central time.
Yeah.
Jay has the ability with some of his running back depth to maybe get some wide receiver help.
Yeah.
So man, it's an exciting week. It's fantastic. Okay. This was a blowout. I don't know how much you're going to spend on this.
Yeah, True John knocks off Shane 113-67. Purdy was rolling. Thought the Eagles were supposed to be good on defense, but not in the middle. Not the middle where the Niners were just feasting. I traded Purdy to John for Jerry Jeudy. Purdy put up 56 points versus the Eagles, and I would have traded Jerry Jeudy today for an onion ring. So Shane shouldn't sweat it. Josh Allen was on bye. He had some weird bad breaks. That hit that DeAndre Swift took was nasty. Yeah. Legal, but just nasty.
Yeah.
Mendenhall's got to be feeling pretty good. He's going to make the playoffs. He's locked that down, I think.
Yeah.
And guy's playing well right now.
Playing well, and he's got a deep bench. I mean, he's got players to choose from, and Achan looks special. Even though his TDs were in garbage time, I do think that he's a potentially special player. He's got fun players to watch. Yeah. He's got Olave had a fun catch on the sideline this week. And San Francisco looks like the cream of the crop in the NFL. Like, that was an absolute beatdown.
John's going to have that same Josh problem, though. Like, who are you going to bench? Maybe you bench Tony Pollard for Achan. But then what you got Raheem Mostert, the number 2 running back in the league. You're going to bench the number 2 running back in the league, and he's not hurt.
I don't know how you can do it.
Why wouldn't you play both?
Well, you can't play all 3. So you got Pollard, Achan, Mostert.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you bench Pollard and play Achan.
Yeah. What about Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
So my prediction is somehow by Saturday he's able to make a huge trade to consolidate some of that power.
There's more.
Actually, I think he should just start Barkley and then do 3 wide receivers.
He's got a third-grade wide receiver.
Yeah, he could do that too.
Yeah.
Gosh. There's quite the season. Yeah, I'm not worried about Shane either. These two teams knotted up, but I think according to your playoff scenarios at lunch, both in the playoffs with 6 wins going into the season.
Yeah, I believe so.
Going to last week.
Yeah. False John takes down the Karate Kids 114-97.
Wow.
Debo was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
Your duo of sparkly quarterbacks were both outscored by Gardner Minshew.
Yep.
I guess you feel like this is no big deal because you got a couple guys on bye that, maybe improve your scores a little bit. I don't want to talk about them. I like this because it's fun when you lose, but I mean, this doesn't hurt you at all. Besides maybe your feelings, but massive for John's playoff hopes. Like, John's in a decent spot now. There's scenarios where he makes it, somewhere he doesn't, but
the potential comeback owner of the week was the text that I got from Brandon Whiteside. Thank you for that idea. But man, what a comeback from John. I was in a pretty good position, I felt like, until that second and third touchdown from Debo. That was just incredible to happen. I had a lot of fun though on Sunday night. I came home from a bored Christmas party. I sat down and I had 4 Chiefs to root for, and it was like one of the most fun I had ever had. Now, just in watching getting 0 catches made that not that much fun.
3 Chiefs to watch.
But it was super fun to be like, okay, I'm settling in. I love Sunday Night Football. It's the one game of the week where I get this is like, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to listen to everything. I love Al. I love Chris. I love the game. I love the matchup. And just to be able to have it was really fun. I thought it potentially could have happened when Noah Gray scored a touchdown instead of Kelsey. I was just so frustrated. But it was a fun week.
I think Noah Gray, Jason. Noah Gray getting in the end zone. Oh, Jason.
I mean, so it's something special to have that. But I had a fun week. I am the 3 seed, and so we just have to figure out where the chips land as far as how injuries go for the rest of the season. So there was one last game, our game of the week.
Game of the week.
And was it the game of the week?
Did not disappoint at all, man. So heading into Monday night, Jeremy has a robust 58-point lead and the Bengals defense. But here comes Brandon. He's got Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk, and the Jags defense. Like, I'm feeling like he's in good shape.
I thought
once again, the algorithm did not.
Win.
The algorithm proved correct, I guess. But I thought Brandon was in great shape. Christian Kirk gets hurt on the first play. Gosh, not seen again. And then we've all seen the Trevor Lawrence ankle injury. He throws the helmet down. He's mad. He has to walk 2 miles to the locker room. It's a devastating blow for Brandon. Because as we were discussing off air, the bench is just he's got CJ Stroud. Like, what are you gonna do?
Bryce Young, actually.
That's right. Yeah, CJ Stroud's the good one.
They chose the wrong guy.
Yeah, Bryce Young. Sorry, he wishes he had CJ Stroud. Bryce Young on the bench. Bryce Young looks terrible. It's like, what's Brandon gonna do? I guess they're just saying high ankle sprain, and maybe they're not ruling him out for this next week. I saw on the TV at lunch, but come on.
No, he's not.
Rule him out. Let's take care of this franchise quarterback.
I mean, he's got to rely on CJ Beathard, which I just don't think is going to get. Is that how they pronounce that?
Yeah. Some people might. Jeff would probably say Beathard.
Oh, well, I learned phonetically how to pronounce things. So to me, it looks like Beathard. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's better.
Yeah, devastating for Brandon.
It was a game of the week, but man, this guy has had terrible unluck. I think he has scored 27 points less than me all season long, and he's at risk of not making the playoffs. So tough. Okay,
are you going to make it? Are people getting sick from the turnaround? Or
well, I'm not sure. I really think the computer needs to be this close to us to pick up the sound.
Oh,
and so I'm just wanting to be a little bit closer. I do think 2 on the screen is better than 3. Mainly, I want people to be able to hear because everyone knows a podcast that you can't hear is pretty awful. Yeah, let's hit the divisional standings for the league. This week we have once again, it looks like we have 3 teams that have kind of locked up their division. So the 1, 2, and 3 seed. I'm going to hit the next one, and then I'll let you break down from this screen what you think the playoffs will look like if you'd like to think we have the time for it.
Yeah, well, I have like all these notes where I was like trying to figure out the permutations, and it's impossible.
Yeah,
because there's 6 teams. The 2 6-win teams are locked in, I think. But if they lose, it still complicates the tiebreakers for the 5-win teams. So I didn't have the brain power to calculate.
We'll do it next week. We'll do it next week. We have more time.
Yeah.
We'll be able to
next week we'll cover who makes the play.
And Chris is demanding that because he has said essentially, although he is the acting commissioner, he needs you to set the playoff lineups.
Yeah. So, and I should be able to post more to the message board once things get a little. We learn a little bit more probably after Thursday.
Okay. Yeah.
It looks like these games, the important games, are going to come down to the Sunday night and Monday night games.
Incredible.
So that'll be exciting. We'll know exactly, like by Sunday afternoon, we'll know, oh, we need this to happen for him to make it.
Okay. So that sounds great. Well, let's make sure that we look at the point standings just quickly. If people can screenshot that if they want to.
Yeah.
Also the pick'em contest.
Yeah.
4-game lead for Ashton Circle. Teams keep dropping, trying to pick up some games. Although Brandon Whiteside this week went 11-0 the first 11 games, lost the Sunday night and lost the Monday night, but was undefeated heading into the last 2 games.
Yeah.
The leader of the pack, Ashton Circle, chose not to choose a winner on the Thursday night game. Feeling that cocky.
I felt like maybe I was getting too far ahead. Okay. And you guys, I needed to do a favor. Like,
what did Josh's numbers this week?
Because 4 games,
like he was pretty far back.
Josh was okay.
Josh was number 2, I think, last week. But a 4-game lead just felt like too much. So I thought, let's wait. Let's give you guys a freebie. Actually, I realized like right after kickoff. I was like, oh no. So then of course I was just rooting for Seattle because everybody picked Dallas.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if Seattle wins, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That probably make that fun, rooting against your own team.
Yeah.
Okay, best ball update briefly. Here are the results. The most exciting game was the me beating Brandon because Brandon as well had Trevor Lawrence in that league, and him getting hurt meant that I just barely beat him.
Double.
The team of the week was Shane Cowherd with 172. Just a massive week, just Laporta, up and down. Man. Laporta obviously is the
HN.
I mean, look at this team. Look at that team.
Yeah.
I mean, he has Kelsey and Laporta go this week. Just an incredible week for
Brandon Ayuk is just looking great.
Just a great team. So our playoffs, I believe, for this league are week 16 and 17. So this is not the last week in the season for best ball. So as we look at the standings, it's the top 2 teams from each division and then the top 2 points leaders. So this week it would be Smitty and Hellhounds, and then you'd have Shane and Aaron would be our 4 teams, and we would have a 2-week playoff. Semifinals week 16, finals week 17. So
we've got 3 teams with more victory points than anybody in the South Division.
yeah, and that
Get your
crazy?
act together, South.
Gosh, the North wins again. There's our overall standings, and then we're gonna make a little quick switch as we move towards the looking for the week 14 preview. So anything we can have on that, Aaron, as we switch gears with our sharing of our screen?
No, I think I was ready to just look forward. It was too hard to figure out.
Okay. Let me see if I can go to this little presentation here and then hit. This is the best we're gonna do with a little bit different look. We'll see how it works.
Yeah, it's Chris versus Josh. This game does not matter. Both teams are pretty much set. Ghost won back in week 3. I think this week they're gonna make it a sweep. Sorry. Sergeant Mahoney is having a strong season, but he's still little brother to the Ghosts. As discussed earlier, Dr. Phantasm just has a surplus of weapons to deploy. Chris is especially vulnerable to Josh because of the CeeDee Lamb Dak combo. For Chris to have any chance, all those Dak points have to go. Well, they can't go to the tight end either. I don't know. It has to all be Brandon Cooks. He just needs a lot of Cooks, a little Pollard maybe. I don't see a path.
I don't either. I mean, the guy's in the room, but I don't like the look from Mahoney this week.
Yeah.
The one thing that's fun about Josh this week is, like, have you seen 5 of his 8 players go on Monday or Sunday night? Super fun. There's 2 Monday night games. There's a Sunday night game, a Thursday night game. Again, they got the 5 days worth of fantasy.
Yeah, 2 Mondays.
But then the Sunday night game is Philly at Dallas.
Yeah.
Game of the week, but also game of the week in the league. But then what we're going to talk about in a little bit with the game of the week, some of those Sunday night matchups and Monday night matchups are super great.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Ghosts. They do look like the best team in the league. And I think the Montgomery trade they traded for Mr. Touchdown.
Yeah.
And so he might have 3 against Chicago. So sorry, Chris, we're both picking against you this week.
Boo.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's going to.
Oh, yeah. Another game that just does not matter. Get out of here. Turkey.
Chris.
He didn't like that. Another game that doesn't matter. Nothing significant on the line. Another game where the opponent does the season sweep. I think Jeff sweeps me here. TK Metcalf, Pittman, and Laporta just on fire lately. If he can continue that for another month, Jeff's going to be a real problem for whoever faces him. Kansas City's kind of a mess, but no, Jeff's going to win this easily. Is this to represent
Chris?
This
is to represent Chris. Yes, Chris has left after we picked against his team. Yeah. And I just do think we can need the computer. No one's looking at us. We're looking at the screen in front of you. Jake Brennan looked awesome on Monday night.
He really did.
I mean, he looked awesome. I think he had 3 incompletions. Ezekiel Elliott is going to be starting quarterback for New England this week. With Ramondre going down.
He could roll.
It's a potential a little bit better, but how am I going to pick against?
No.
How am I going to pick against the Rhinos?
No, you're not.
You're not going to. I think I think you're a pretty big underdog. You have the number. I hear you've been doing some research on some potential candidates for the number 1 pick.
Well, at this point, yeah. I figure I'm going to be in the top 4.
Yeah. So you've got some choices. Anybody you're leaning towards right away? You're looking at Caleb. Are you looking at Marvin Harrison Jr.? You have any favorites?
I like them all. There's a couple of receivers I like. I do like a couple quarterbacks. I've had some quarterback problems this year. Maybe I want to. Well, it didn't work for Jay to draft.
No. Anthony Richardson.
But the theory might be good practice.
Yeah.
We've seen the way. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also going to take Jeff. I don't know. Brandon maybe not watching the with his injury history. Maybe he's not watching the show anymore. But I don't know where we stand. But we seem to be picking similar teams. So let's keep going. See what we got with this game with Jay putting Justin Fields in there.
Oh wow. Yeah, and my eyes are bad. I can't tell who Jay's portrait is, but I bet it's a joke. I bet it's something funny.
Oh,
I don't know what it is.
That looks like.
I think Shane is locked in for a win, though. He's got a tie break over the 2 teams, or all the teams that could catch him, and then the 2 teams he doesn't have a tie break on play each other this week, so only one could win. I think Shane's in no matter what. I can't believe I'm going against the mighty Vipers, but until we see what he does at wide receiver, which I see what he's doing at wide receiver.
Oh, well, look at this!
Is he going to be on our first show? He's never watched, but here he is.
This is a YouTube show that it was actually 2 seasons worth.
What is this?
This is welcome, Pastor John Middendorf to the show.
Oh, I'm really glad to be here.
Would you like to take a seat? We're breaking down the Vipers Sweat Sox game. We can have you sit.
Just a couple minutes left. Got a couple more games to go over.
Little children's chair for you right there. That was good.
Look at that. It was made for this.
Who do you like in the Vipers versus Sweat Sox game? Jay had some significant injuries this season. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the league, but we called you comeback owner of the year.
I have had a great month.
Yeah,
I've had a great month. The reign of terror. I remember when I was asking Aaron for advice on how to build a team.
Look at that. Yeah. We've gone in different directions that night.
Was that the harvest dinner? I mean, was that Fall Fest?
No, it was just a nice evening out we had together.
We had a night out.
Nice.
And, I drove Aaron home
drank some
later,
milk and
right?
Yeah.
I like that the children's chair actually works perfect for his height because we actually need him to be a little bit shorter to fit in the show.
Yeah.
So I'm also taking the Sweat Sox just because I think Jay's throwing the game because he may be trying to see what other starters can do for him when he tries to figure out what to do with the loss of Watson and Dell.
Out some lineups.
And then Jalen Hurts looks still banged up. That knee does not look right. Jay may not be peaking at the right time. Chris picked against him. I'm also picking against him. John, who do you have in the Vipers versus Sox matchup this week?
I will take the Sox.
Okay. And did you make a pick too?
Let me go back here.
I think you already picked
I like
the
the Sweat Sox to beat the Vipers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Let's go to the next game.
Oh yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
And John, and stay as long as you like.
Have you already done my game?
No.
You actually are. You might be the game of the week. And we've got a great sponsor.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
Yeah.
John, we have a game of the week every week on the show, and it was with sponsors.
Here.
This is a YouTube show every week.
People on the internet watch this sometimes.
Yes. Actually, people who are not in our league, they watch this.
We have ones of followers.
Okay. Break it down, Aaron.
Right.
Yeah. Hellhounds. Both teams coming off games over 120 points. Chad really needs this. Oh man. John doesn't really need it. Both quarterbacks are locked in. Running games are fierce. Who's Mendenhall gonna do at running back? We just talked about this, but
he's got Achan.
Achan's gonna be fine.
He's
just fine.
He benches Achan every time he goes off, and then I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh, that's a good game.
Yeah. Receivers are looking good on both sides. I'm gonna go Hellhounds. Give me the Hellhounds.
Well, I'm not picking Chad, so I'm definitely going to go for the Hellhounds. But I do think that the kind of prayer that John Mendenhall has to take place on Sunday morning early, figuring out what to do with all of those skill players, is going to be the kind of prayer that's going to shape and form him into the person he needs to become.
It's going to harden.
Congratulations for the kind of character building that the Mendenhall. I'm also taking Mendenhall. I'm really curious. I mean, he's felt bad at quarterback, but somehow he gets Brock Purdy for Jerry Jeudy. Yeah. And now he may be. Look at him go.
Yeah.
So, John, who do you got in this matchup?
I'll take the guy who didn't torpedo his own team. Getting the hell down.
Oh, that's what we needed right there. Now we have the very injured and hurt Brandon Whiteside versus the CJ Stroud-led Karate Kid. I don't think I can be anything but the 3 seed.
No, you're locked in.
I'm locked into the 3 seed.
Josh has the tiebreak over you.
Yep. So but Brandon needs this game.
Brandon definitely needs this game.
And I'm going to play.
What seed?
Well, he has
to make the playoffs at all.
He does?
Yeah.
And he needs tiebreaker work.
We're not sure on the tiebreakers yet because there's way too many variables.
Oh, John doesn't want to make the playoffs.
You should tank this.
You should tank your season.
Okay.
If you do that, it'll be between Carr and Brandon, depending on their wins.
That's going to change my pick on the last game, I think.
Okay.
And choosing Carr.
Bryce Young has scored fewer than 21 points in each of his last 5 starts. He has not broken 22 points in over a month.
But how cruel for Brandon to have his team only choose the wrong quarterback.
Yeah.
But for him to choose the wrong quarterback as his backup.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a terrible line. He's got terrible coaches and no skill players. So he might not be terrible, but he looks like he's terrible.
He looks terrible. He should give up right now.
I think McCaffrey.
And wait, they don't own their draft pick.
No, they don't.
They traded that pick to the Bears.
Yeah, there's no hope.
There's no like, at least we were 1-15, but at least we get the number 1 pick. No, you don't.
No,
you're stuck. You're giving that to the Bears.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think McCaffrey wins over whoever you put at RB1, and I think you win every other position.
So do you think you're picking Brandon to lose this game?
Yeah.
Well, I am too. I mean, how somehow this team over here on the right, the Karate Kid, has both Diggs and Jefferson and Kelsey and CJ Stroud. I just love this guy's team. I'm taking him.
How in the world did you get Justin Jefferson? That is
it's
bamboozled.
And so now we go to the game of the week.
Game of the week.
Somehow not planned.
Yes.
It is sponsored by Larry's Steakhouse on Northwest 39th Street. And amazingly, in all the archives of the entire internet, I could not archives anchovies of the
That's how
entire internet.
This is the Medea broadcast.
I could not find a picture of Larry's Steakhouse. But located at 4839 Northwest Expressway, this incredible establishment sponsored the game of the week. And it was sponsored because I want to make sure to look at these prices from this article in the Oklahoman in 1982. The moderately priced 16-ounce T-bone was $7.95, ribeye $5.25, a full ribeye for $5.25, and a trip to the salad bar alone, which is all you can eat, is only $1.95. Larry's Steakhouse in 1982, $1.95. Thanks to Larry's Steakhouse for the generous sponsorship of the game of the week, which is Aaron breaking down.
Yeah,
we got him in the room.
Yeah, John versus Jeremy, the dude coming off a win. The Pharisees have really turned it around, winner of 3 in a row.
Do we want to keep pushing, or do we want?
It's 1 seed is Jay, and he just lost both of his wide receivers.
And Jalen's not great.
Yeah,
Jalen's not right.
Look at this.
Yeah.
We may this meeting may convince him to not throw the season.
Yeah, come on. How many chances do you get?
Well, actually, Aaron breaks down every game, so listen in.
Yeah, looks like the dude's going to have to rely on the suddenly shaky Josh Dobbs while Kyler's on by. False John should have the quarterback advantage, whether he rolls with Minshew or Lamar. I think he's going to do well.
False John?
You need to keep up with the show.
I'm the original.
well, not after you lost this year.
You lost the game.
Last year you were True John because you beat Mendenhall. But we talk a lot, but we say John. People don't know what
he's doing here. What is
this? Is a YouTube show or podcast. Some people call it. Some people don't watch.
Yeah.
But you now are False John because of your loss to True John.
Fair enough.
He won the rights to the name till you play again next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless there's a playoff, unless they play finish one of the playoffs.
You're right. Yeah.
Then you can take over the title of True John.
I'm gonna make several changes to this lineup.
I think John probably starts Ford over Ramondre.
Yeah, for sure. And then he's
obviously
he's gonna start Lamar too.
I would
probably,
but Gardner looks good. Gardner is unlocking those dudes.
His team loves him. His team loves him.
It's not like the Bengals secondary is great. I don't know.
Both are 40.5 over-unders.
Yeah.
I think the issue for quarterback for Jeremy is a big problem. And I'm picking the Pharisees, but I don't like it if he's tanking.
No, I also
going online.
Yes. Everybody but you is going to watch this.
You're the only owner that's never watched this show in the last 2 years.
Okay.
So
I need somebody to explain to me what we're doing here.
Okay, you're picking a team here, and then the show actually needs to wrap up here in a few minutes.
Right.
But yeah, who do you like in your own game? Now, you actually hold the power here to know whether you're tanking or not. Before he makes his pick, I'm picking the Pharisees because I think after this meeting, after the joy of being on the show, he's going to know it's much more fun to be in the playoffs than to be in the toilet bowl.
No,
I think
it's more fun to get the first pick overall.
Well,
unless you have a shot in that first round.
I think you have a shot in the first round. I mean, Jay's not going to like that, and I'm not going to say it, but Chris sat here early in this chair, and he predicted a first round upset. He thinks the 8 seed healthy has a shot to really get at Jay with Tank Dell and Christian Watson going down.
I like Jay a lot. I don't want to see him angry.
Oh, that's sweet.
Like Jay when he's angry.
No, we actually, yeah.
Man,
who do you got?
True Jay.
Who do you got?
He's the True Jay.
Yeah. Only one of them.
Well, as a former commissioner, can I bench my whole team?
Well, you got to start somebody.
I do. So I don't have the option.
I don't think it'll let you.
It makes you start someone.
Okay, well, then I'll probably win because look at that stuff that he's rolling.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm just
fuck it.
no. I think
Video where the kid's like,
no, I think I do like the dude because I mean it's those skill players are really good. Kamara, Allen, Evans, and Nakua, and then Kittle.
yeah,
Like I don't have a
ferocious.
great option at time. I am going to go with Cole Kmet should I decide to try to win this thing. If I want to shut out myself in the tight end category, I will stick with Juwan Johnson. So did put up a strong 0 against the Karate Kid.
Robust goose egg.
Yeah, and Ramondre, thanks for
that was a 17. I think that was a $17 goose egg, by the way. I think you bid. I think you bid on that.
Money this time of season.
Right. So I'm gonna throw Komet out there. This is all assuming I'm gonna try to win. I'm just gonna tell Jeremy, you're gonna have to contend with Lamar, Jerome, Ford. Probably gonna go with Elijah Moore though.
Oh, yeah, they do like him. Flacco has eyes for him.
He does.
Over DeAndre.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And because Debo's gone nuts, but you never know. He's only getting 3 or 4 touches a game, but they're all going for 70
all of them
yards.
Yeah.
5 catches for 171 yards, I think.
Yeah.
Gee,
and then I'll probably switch out the
you love him.
And I'll probably switch out the defenses and go with the Saints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we did not. This is true joy.
Yeah.
We were supposed to record at Johnny's, but Johnny's gave us neither Wi-Fi nor the room. So that was a difficult phone call for me.
Yeah.
But this turned into be a greater show than we could ever ask or imagine.
Yeah,
to him be glory in the church and in Christ
you
Jesus.
Throw the game last week against me?
No. I'm not. I care about my record.
Through the game.
I care about my record, and I care about how many points I score. Believe me.
Yeah,
I want to know how many weeks I'm going to beat certain other teams. And I would have lost to a certain team. I would have lost to Action Circle this week because I didn't bust that 100 points. So
I played you then.
Man, what a show. Probably our best of the year.
Oh yeah.
Favorite sponsor and guest sponsors, John. Thanks for showing up at the right time.
Yeah. I am scheduled to have a little sit down with Aaron to help him to construct his new fantasy team. So
good. Yeah, I need some help.
Is Brad gonna also be? Is Brad invited to that? Or
Patron Saint? Patron Saint.
He's the keynote speaker.
Any other parting words or thoughts, fellas? Or is this the show?
I think we're good.
Now explain to me what this is again.